Hello, awesome viewers, welcome to AC Studio. In this video, we're gonna look at the Primaris Captain, and in my next video, I'm gonna review the Chief Librarian Articulation. I know what you're gonna say. Hey AC, 3 months ago, didn't you say you don't want to get this figure? Yes, I had a community post saying that I'm not gonna get this Captain because I spent too much money on JoyToy figures and I want to save the money to get the Terminators. And many people left the message on the post. This is a really good figure, you should get it. And especially Skellywags, he mentioned that this figure apparently is featured in the 9th edition trailer. The trailer shows a few scenes of the Captain, but at first I thought that the Captain is a blade guard. So after reading all the messages, and I changed my mind and I bought it. And since everyone has a very high expectation on this figure, let's open it and see how good it is. Alright, it is packed like that, and it comes with a clear base again. And it looks like this old, JoyToy Battle of the Star series figures where they, put the figures, on a horizontal layout. I really love this packaging. Alright, I'll take it over and let's have a look at the accessories first. For some fun reason, the black paint on the handle comes off. So all the black paint's actually onto my finger now. I don't know what happened here. The paint hasn't been dried yet. Don't know. Anyway, better clean my hand before I touch the figure. So I cleaned the handle with a wet cloth, but the black paint on the recess came off. So don't know what paints they use for the handle. The sword that I got from other previous figures, paints never come off. How come this one come off? So just really weird QC issues. Before we look at the details of the figure, let's have a look at the details of the accessories. So the first thing we look at is the sword. The sword is a very different sculpt compared to other sword that I got in the previous JoyToy figures. And the details on the cross is absolutely amazing. It also got this pointy piece on the blade itself, right? That looks really unique as compared to other sword. It looks really nice. I really love this. And say there's the QC issue. There's some black paint here. I think it probably is spilled from the black shadowing that they apply here. For some reason it's not dry yet. This is a silly thing that you see in JoyToy figures. It looks really ugly, so I'll see if I can clean it later. And the next thing obviously we're gonna look at is the shield. Everyone get this figure because of the shield, and also the articulate mask as well, of course. But the shield, look at that details on the shield. The skull, of the shield looks absolutely amazing. JoyToy has to make that as a separate mold of the skull and then put it onto the shield. Look at the bolts, look at the edges, look at that as well. Absolutely amazing. Purity seal as well, and the details of the skull on the purity seal looks really amazing. Look, it's very refined. And the skull itself, look at it. That's really, really beautiful. The colors, the shadowing. Really nice, I love it, I really like it. And also got this banner here as well, and the U and the script here are recess details, and all these are numbers as well. Here, 13 here are recess details. You got this very nice bolt detail, bolt here, that represent the skull being bolted onto the shield itself. And the surprise feature of the skull is the skull has articulation as well. The head can move like that. Look at that. That is absolutely amazing. It can actually rotate. And also I noticed that the body, you see, it can actually like this. It can actually move a bit as well. And another interesting feature is this hand, you can actually pull it out. Absolutely amazing. And do that. It has articulation on the elbow. So you can actually play with the articulation of the skull. Look at it. Look at that. That is amazing. It's actually quite loose, but it's a skull. It's supposed to be loose. It gives you a little bit more kind of like features to play with. This shield is definitely the best shield of all the JoyToy Warhammer figures. No doubt about that. Absolutely stunning. And then the back, you got very nice detail as well as usual. This thing, like that, or you can rotate it according to how you want to pose the figure. And this shield is actually quite heavy as well. And next, let's have the head. Well, the head sculpt is a little bit boring and this face looks like an alien, right, from Area 51. And his facial expression is rather plain, you know, like no anger, nothing, just like that, you know, boring. And the details aren't as fine as well. It's not as fine as the lieutenant with the power fist, which I reviewed in the last video. So you can see the level of details are very different. Yeah, I think the facial expression is kind of lacking. But I'm quite sure many collectors are not going to put this head onto the figure anyway. You know, the articulate face mask definitely looks better than having this, for sure. Anyway, I put that aside. And then we also provide with a gun sleeve. Very nice one. You got this detail here as well. And also we got a, what is it, a bolter or pistol here. Very nice. And you got the holes here. And it has been released in other figures before, but I couldn't remember which one now. Yep. And then, or even at the back of the figure, for example, you also get another gun sleeve, which doesn't have a gun, but this hole here should paint black, just to make it more realistic. And lastly, they gave you 7 sets of hands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have one holding the pistol, one holding the shield. And then you also provide with 2 fists on both sides. Another one holding the gun on the other side, like that one. So exactly the same as that one, but opposite direction. Also one holding the sword on the other side as well, so exactly the same as that one as well. And interestingly, they gave you one which is like that, which is really interesting. At first I did not know what it is. Apparently it is actually for holding the shield like that. You know, you give it a nice pose holding the shield like that. So I'll show you later in the gallery at the end of the video. And this is a very good addition, you know, to the standard exchangeable hands. So this is something that is really good. The first thing to look at on the figure, obviously, yes, is the head sculpt, which got the articulated mask. What makes this figure very different from other figures, right? It's not just a shield, but also this articulated helmet. So this helmet design, you know, is like the medieval knight's helmet design, right? So you can flip this up as well. Look at that. And look at the details in there. You know, the eyes really well painted. Much better than the head sculpt in my opinion, even though the eyes I think looks very similar. And I've got this white mask, you know, very nice one. But to me, it looks a bit like COVID-19 mask. What? What the fuck? And you got very nice iron sculpt here with the 2 bolts and the side details as well. Very nice detail. And then we close it off like that. Looks really good. The eyes can still see through the gap here. Got the slot here, but the slot aren't, you know, see-through. It's just plain black. If JoyToy really open up these slots here, right, have this opening, oh my god, this figure looks even better. This halo is definitely much better than the Gilliman one. Look at it. Looks ugly, this one, but this one's perfect, right? Maybe I should replace this on the Gilliman, see what happened. And then the Aquila, look at that, the details of Aquila. This is probably the best looking one as well. Look at the depth, you know, to this detail, right? This is really well defined detail. You know, the only figure which I think it got really good Aquila is the first generation of the Blade Guard veterans, right? The depth of each lines, right, are very well defined, the recess line. This is equally as good, look at that. You see, very nice as well. Wow. And then on the shoulder, look at that detail as well. But only thing I'm not too sure of is why they put the black wash onto the gold. They should use brown wash. They always use brown wash, but how come on this figure they use black? So I don't think the black matches gold really nicely. And this detail is recess details as well. Honor, recess with letters. I think the reason why they get able to do recess details, because this piece is a separate piece they make in the factory, and after they've done that, they just stick it on the shoulder pad. So that's why they can actually do the recess. Whereas on the previous figures that I look at, right, because it's actually more in one piece, so they cannot able to do that. You got a very nice shield here. All these are print, and on this shoulder as well, you got different details on the edging as well. This is print as well, but it's still very nice. And then on this arm here, look at the scroll, the scripts, rolling around the arm here. And then also this detail here looks very nice. So, and you can take it out like that. Look at that. That's very nice. You can actually reuse it on the other figures as well. And all the scripts are recessed details as well. Yeah, absolutely stunning so far. And the skull with the cross emblem here as well. And the leather belts details as well. Very nice. you can see both amulets, you know, which is hold on to this piece here, which I don't know what it is called here, right? The amulet has the ring here that you can actually move it around. So these two are separate pieces to this, so it's really good. So you can actually move it around as well, so it's not easily damaged. You know, if you move the legs around, you know, and on the hip armor piece here, side armor piece, you got the scripts with the skull motto as well, and with the bolts here there as well, you know. And one of the script got a Ultramarine U, which is plain in blue as well, not just black. And this detail is similar to the champion, and the details are, and this detail are, you know, basically the same as the champion. And the back, again, I had this complaint before regarding to this, you know, exhaust piece here. That shouldn't be the gap there. So they're using the same, you know, backpack piece, you know, for Intercessor number 2 and 3 figures, you know. So it is basically the same piece, except it got the skull motto as well at the back. And on the painting itself, full color, and the shadowing definitely looks really good on this figure. But the only thing I'm too sure of, as I mentioned before, is why they use black wash onto the gold piece. They should use brown wash, right? And even look at the halo piece, this is all in black wash, right? Except this, they did paint it with brown wash on the skull, but nothing more than that. But otherwise, still okay to me, so the details are really well defined, easy to see as well. Blue armor, it seems like they did not really put a lot of black wash on it or black shadowing on it. I see a little bit on the legs itself here, but it's not as obvious as the previous figures. For example, like the blade guard veterans, you can see the differences here. You see the blade guard got more black shadowing here, and this one is rather plain. So if you look far away from it, it looks like it is just pure blue color with no shadowing on it. And on the cloth, they also put a bit of black shadowing on the recess here, which in my opinion doesn't look that nice. It should be brown wash. I do see a slight color variation, so you can see this is more brownish, whereas this is actually lighter color. And then at the bottom, you can see they did not put any black shadowing on the recess, but what they did is they did, you know, put brown, spray paint the brown at the bottom of the cloth, but it's not as obvious as the blade guard veterans, you know. But I think it still looks good. And in terms of articulation, the articulation of this figure is actually quite good. So it's pretty similar to the typical Space Marine. The shoulder joint is a little bit loose, but that is due to the you know, 2.0 design. And despite, you know, we got the apron and, you know, these pieces here, it doesn't restrict the legs from kicking up high. So it can still kick up quite high. Same as that one, you see, can kick up high, you know, not 90 degrees, but you're close enough to 90 degrees. And one issue that it got is the exchangeable hand here, right? Once you exchange it a few times, the ball joint becomes very loose, so the ball joint cannot sustain the weight of the shield. You can see actually quite loose, and also it is actually quite loose after you put the handle into the hand. You see, actually very loose, so you need to rely on the elbow joint and the shoulder joint to, you know, move it up so that it looks like it is holding it. So you can see the shield can, you know, kind of like stand clear from the ground. So that's how you need to hold the shield, like that. So basically like that. It cannot be like that, it has to be like that. So this figure is probably one of the best Ultramarines figure by JoyToy. The details, the design of this figure is absolutely amazing. It is able to capture pretty much all the details as shown in the trailer. And this figure is definitely a must in my opinion. And I give it a 9 out of 10 on this figure. I wish it has a little bit more shadowing on the armor itself, but overall it still looks really good. So I want to say thank you to you guys. 3 months ago, you know, I said I'm not gonna get it in the community post, but you guys proved me wrong. So your support is very important to make sure I make the right decision as well. And in the next video, I will have the review on the Librarian, and I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.